I've spoke about it for a while, but now it's obviously the time. But we're looking at it from a more esoteric perspective. So we're not looking at what it's about or anything like that. I'm paying attention to beyond the veil to see how it truly will impact and come into our society. So, with that being said, welcome everybody to Crypto Angles podcast number 45. So 4 and 5 is 9. So this is ethereal wisdom coming in right now. So pay attention. Okay, so my name is Kelita Sahliah. I'm a mother, I'm a real angel, and of course I dabble in crypto, as this is why we're here. So I use astrology of the sky in combination with the crypto market to see how it could potentially be impacting it or not. So as I says, it's of the sky, so it's not tropical western mainstream astrology. It's literally the sky above our head, and this calendar is in full alignment with it, so you can grab that if you'd like. But anyway, for those who are new, what we usually do, we touch on some Gematria connections. I'll explain what that is if you don't know. Then we'll get into the astrological story that's happening this cycle, so from the 4th to the 10th of February 2024. And then we'll do the technical analysis for Bitcoin, XRP, of course XpR, and the DXY to get a deeper insight into it. So, welcome everybody anyway. I basically felt called to this project. However, the split energies within me, my masculine looks at it and it's just like, this could be a potential shitcoin. It could just go to hell and that type of vibe. However, my feminine is the part that's been called to it, because I went on a little journey with this coin. What I found, the research, but we're only touching on one part, so I may do more parts for this. But basically, from what I looked into, I don't see, like, I don't know. I basically feel it could be another XRP opportunity. That's what I'm seeing. So, yeah, let's get into it anyway. Here you can grab my calendar. This calendar that we're on right now, it finishes in March, but it's still amazing to learn from and backdate and backtest. So do grab it. And of course we do have the new calendar, so grab that as well, but I'll show you that a bit later. Anyway, this is threads on oh, I forgot to put something up. Hold on, that's my threads. Will it load? What do I want? What is it? There we go. George Soros. Sure, I just wanted to get that ready, but let's go back to the threads. So threads anyway, this is on Instagram, so feel free to go to me there, and this is where we're going to break it down. So I do look into the numbers and how that could be impacting as well. As you can see, we've got Crypto Angles podcast number 45, and there should have been a 9 there. Ethereal wisdom, we're getting in Proton, XpR Proton 820, so that breaks down to a 10 and a 1, so we're getting the binary code and something new with this energy. With ordinal, so at the bottom here we have 156 giving us 12.3, and in Chaldean we have 48 giving us 12.3 again. So when in the rules of numerology, to get a deeper insight, you can mirror numbers. So if we're to mirror 20, if we are to mirror 12, then we do get, let me show you. Come on, I've got no choice but to consent. This is how you open it up, by the way. Just click Chaldean update and then you get it all. Saturn gives us 21 in Chaldean, so time within our time. Yeah, just interesting anyway, looking at the numbers. And of course that breaks down to 3, so 3 is like the energy coil creation as well. So will this be part of this new creation we're entering into? this new world, would I say, from our collective thoughts. But just the symbology of proton alone, I just got this off Google, but it's the atom. It's the atom, and could this potentially be the light oscillating inside the atom, which creates matter? So fascinating. Anyway, let's just get into some of the connections pretty quickly because the chart is interesting. So XRP Proton, we've got Holy Script. Has this been part of the play all along? Because basically my perspective is a lot of focus and noise on XRP while this is just the underdog. That's the best way I can put it. Why? Because we have XRP equals 58, so clearly what's the other one? XpR equals 58 as well, because it's the same numbers. So I'm just like, is it the same thing? Basically, you know how there's always duels, but could one just fail and could one rise? But looking at the charts, it seems as if XpR would fail. But anyway, Cabal time is up, so repent, whatever. The Cabal, that's what I mean, is this new story. The script ending, the divine hand, is that part of the script when it comes to the energies of this token. Rothschild's yeah, bye. Ophiuchus eclipse. Now, I find this interesting because, of course, I look at the sky. And Ophiuchus is a major sign that is in the sky. You can see it even in this polluted city that I'm in. It's clearly there, and the sun passes on Ophiuchus in the ecliptic, which makes it a zodiac sign. Now, in a lot of my previous Gematria connections, Ophiuchus has come up a lot. This Ophiuchus energy of the serpent rising, which is something else we're gonna get into, but the serpent rising, because Ophiuchus is the serpent bearer, and of course we're getting eclipse. Now, usually the eclipses don't actually happen until like Virgo and like Aries, a little bit of Virgo and Aries mainly, so, and sometimes Pisces. So that doesn't really happen. However, there are still many times in the sky that the moon does cross over the sun. So I'm wondering, I need to look into it, but I'm wondering when that would happen, and then we'll come back to that. Sorry. Not a game, it's a pattern. So patterns, fractals, atoms, protons, barrier breaking. So I just find it interesting. It's kind of links to change, but let's get into the next one. The foundation teacher. This is big. Why this is big is because Pluto is in Capricorn. So the foundations of our society are changing. So could this be part of it? The host of the Christ. So I know when it comes to Gematria, don't pay too much attention to like these extra filler words, but I do find this interesting because depending on your point of view, like the chrism rising up, you know, the dead in Christ shall rise because the chrism oil was just not there, so it's risen, depending on your point of view. But again, is this part of this foundation changing and the energy in our realm changing? The digital existence, we're entering into that, the Aquarius age, and we've got race divide. So pay attention, confirmation burp, if there's any noise on the world stage about race and more division. So do pay attention to that. But then we could get the opposite of interracial relationships. So pay attention if this comes up a lot on the world stage. If more race is just noticed, like, oh, don't do that, blah, 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 which then may cause even more interracial relationships. Fascinating. Connect this to life as well. Not a game, it's a pattern, same thing. So do connect it to life as well. It's not all about crypto. When it comes to Gematria, it shows the connection and the relationship things have with each other, so it can create like a chain reaction type of thing. So this is why I say pay attention to what happens on the world stage, because that could be the noise that's happening while this is doing what it needs to do. Okay, so getting on to the ordinal now, and pay attention if any numbers come up in 48, or if you see 48 in your own personal hologram, because it's just saying XRP, XpR Proton. Anyway, as above, so below. So again, this is just a little connection for myself, and of course, because we're using the actual sky, the waters above. But yeah, on my page, my Etsy page, we've got as above, so below. So again, these things kind of make you realize, okay, I'm tapped into a frequency I'm meant to experience right now. You see me? Baron Trump, if he comes up on the world stage, just pay attention, okay? Global currency, so XpR Proton is connected to global currency. So this sparks my question again on XRP and XpR. Oh, let there be light. Light is coming. The number of a man. This was just a biblical thought for me because I came from that background. But 666, number of a man, and the beast as well. I am your voice, so maybe this is a sign. If you were looking for a sign for coins, the fifth element. I find this fascinating because in many, like, even cartoons, like not Avatar. Well, yeah, Avatar. Him in the spirit is the fifth one. Avatar: The Last Airbender. You've got Elsa. Elsa number 2, Frozen number 2. She was the fifth element that needed to be there. The two of them together. So this is ether. Basically, it's the ether, the fifth element. So are we connecting back to the ethereal energy at this point? But pivot point is coming up, and I find it interesting. We've got the same numbers there. 51 would make 6 in the material. There's a pivot point happening. So could that be, is this part of the pivot point, this XpR Proton? But we've got Ripple the bull. I found that funny because I just thought of Bull Run, but there's a Ripple connection there, so no coincidences. And when we get into more, we may see even more connections with Ripple and XpR. But fake world news, so again, if this appears and pops up on the world stage, just remember XpR Proton, the beast rising beast. Love is the key at this point. Neutrality, 0 point frequency. Metatron's cube, so we're getting some Saturn coming up here. Yeah, should be common knowledge. Enlightened ones, and again, maybe a sign. Digitalization, we're entering into that. Walls of Jericho, are they coming down with sound? Frequency, is the frequencies right? This is what I mean. So yeah, it's not just about the coin. We look at all angles here. Pfizer, BioNTech, that's there. The Serpent God, as I said, this Ophiuchus eclipse, this Ophiuchus energy, this Phoenix rising type of vibe. Monoatomic gold. Apparently this is a health thing. I didn't really know of it, but if this pops up on the world stage, like, oh, this is an amazing thing to have. Oh, I guess it's just interesting. So the last one, do know it's all connected. There are no coincidences, of course not. Martin Lawrence, again, if he pops up on the world stage a lot, and I'm sure I saw a video of him actually saying that. I saw a video of him and he was talking, you know how like celebrities are basically just plants anyway, puppets being used, and you know how there's a lot of celebrities just talking a bit more positivity now and saying, oh, blah blah blah, saying the things that we've tried to been saying when we were called mad, basically, like, no, that's not the world, but it really was the world. Like homeschooling, the education system, like what we really think about it, the fraud, everything that's happening. But then it's like celebrities eventually pop out, or more known people pop out, and they start talking about it to make people feel happy, maybe to just keep us in that state. I don't know, that just came through. But Martin Lawrence, if he pops up, pay attention. Currency crash. Will there be a crash? Will this be part of it? Does it have something to do with the birth certificate? Oh, birth certificate. We're getting that 51 as well, with pivot point. So that's interesting, because the birth certificate is fraud. It's fraud. It's a death certificate. And they drain your energy and money. Deceived voters. Isn't the election happening this year? People gonna be deceived. There's always deception in the voters. You're just giving them your votes, your energy, so let's stop. The Kabbalist code, again, this as well as many other things, I'm just like, what? what is XpR Proton? Not much attention is on it. So what really is it? Is it an occult gateway? A secret gateway? Maybe. We'll see. The 7th day, Saturn's day. So we're getting Saturn here as well. Time, Proton. So, yeah. They're the connections anyway when it comes to just XpR Proton. So let's get into the astrological story and then the technical analysis, because I found some interesting things. But why is this cycle important, and why do I think it's just aligned pretty much, potentially this split energy in me, but potentially in alignment with the video coming out now? Because I've been saying I wanted to do this for time, but it's only happening now. Mercury is entering Capricorn. So, as well as that, the sun is already in Capricorn. As you can see, it entered on the 20th. And we'll get into the others in the next cycle, but we've got even more Capricorn energy. So, when it comes to Mercury being the one that is more in alignment with money, so Mercury is all about energy exchange. Ultimately is known as Hermes, the winged god. Oh, and I need to say, we're taking a little break. Do go and watch this video from Waters Above. It is on his Patreon, but when I say the codes in there are interesting, and there's no coincidence who came up. The number, oh, where are we? The number that came up was this one. It was for XRP. But as I says, it links to both, and that is a number that pops up a lot, that's coming through a lot in 2024, the year of the dragon. So do give that a watch. I recommend. That's why I'm just not sleeping on the 58s numbers, XpR and XRP. So Mercury, anyway, back to Mercury. We're in this energy exchange. So how we will be exchanging our energy is based on foundation. So because it does fuel money, as well as how you communicate and think and things like that, you will think about how you want to exchange your money. That's the Mercury technology. I see this all as highly advanced technology, but basically we're exchanging our energy now in this Capricorn lens. So we are focused on long-term goals. We're focused on long-term goals. We are focused on creating that stability within the market. Okay, so this is just telling me when it comes to the market, there may be a bit of slow movement as we are quite heavy in Capricorn energy. It may just move slow. It's focused on setting stability and foundations for long-term goals. Capricorn, Saturn energy, and we've got Saturn within XpR Proton in more ways than I've shown you today. But we've got Saturn energy coming up. So this wants to see not only consistency, it needs to set up the foundation and structure. So this again could be why we may see more lows in the market, because it's about creating the foundation necessary, creating the structure within the chart movement in order for it to reach its long-term goals. So it's like people may think, oh, it's just going down, this isn't really doing anything. You know, people says it's going to be a bull run in 2024. It's not happened yet, even though it's January, bro. But some people may be saying that because they're quite impatient. However, this fall back is necessary to create this foundation. And people who aren't meant to be in it will just see it as weakness, but ultimately it's strength. So what the market is doing right now, even if you're seeing lows, you're seeing it strengthening itself. Okay, so moving on to the moon. When it is a new moon, no moon, price likes to find its resistance level. Okay, so it wants to find its resistance, and the moon energy starts 5 days before and 5 days after. So we've got 1, 2, 345 today. It starts today. Price is going to get ready to find its resistance, and 5 days after 2345. So up until Wednesday, pretty much, before we transition into the full moon of getting our lows. So this is why, if you watch my video in my last video, Crypto Angles podcast number 44, I spoke about potential lower dips at this point, but of course we'll follow cycle by cycle. So that's what I'm seeing. And if you haven't been following the market, price went low, as I says, more lows in crypto because we had this full moon energy in Cancer. Now Cancer is about that pivot point, it's about that tipping point, because it's kind of like at the top and it's ready to create the cycle again. So I find that interesting. But price found its bottom, didn't it? We will be putting on the moon phases in the technical analysis, which we'll be getting into now. But yeah, price found its bottom, and then it's ranging and it's getting ready to find its resistance. So let's take a look at where this resistance level will be. So I just want to bring you awareness, though, to just a little observation of more of my masculine side of me when it comes to XpR Proton. Now, I'm kind of keeping an eye on the way both of them moved. So this is XRP. We've just zoomed into its inception, so we're going to just do some cross references. Okay, so XRP opened, we're on the monthly time frame, and it opened roughly at about just under half a penny. Well, half a cent it was just under half a cent averagely. We're on a larger time frame, so it might not be on point, but basically just under half a cent XRP opened up to. It then jumped up to 4 cents, jumped up to 4 cents and then came back down again. Now, the difference is, the logical part in me when it comes to XpR Proton, because initially I was like, oh, as XpR Proton, has it basically done the same thing XRP has done when it's since its inception, basically? But it hasn't, not really, because XpR, it opened at 4 cents, almost 5 cents. It opened at, no, just under 5 cents, but then it's gone so low. After it went up, it's just gone so low. However, could this potentially be its cup? So not this part, we are on the W time frame here, but could this potentially be its cup? Could it be coming up to get rejected off this point, and could it begin to make its handle? That's a possibility, but there's still a long way for that point. Going back to XRP. XRP didn't trade under its inception price for a while. Like it did for a little bit, and then price stayed on it, but it wasn't that low. It wasn't that low. It was basically, where are we? There. How low did it trade? 50% basically, give or take 50%, and it touched there a little bit. So I'm going to just draw this just to keep this here. So since XRP's inception, oh, is this the chart? It's the Mercury retrograde chart. Since its inception, this was basically the zone of XRP, and this is wild because it went up so high into its bull run, and look what it did. I swear, XRP is the devil's coin. It really is. It went up high after its bull run, ranged for a bit, opened here, dropped lower than its full inception, so lower than 50% it dropped to, it wicked down to, popped back up, and then continued its bull run. So I do wonder, this happened for a whole month, so I can only imagine people in 2017, they may have been panic selling and stuff. Oh, if I was in this then. This is why I'm just like, could XpR Proton have, you know, the same things? Sorry, we're doing this in real time, obviously, so I get a little distracted sometimes. But just showing the analyst anyway. So, XRP, it traded in it within this zone for a while, like underneath its inception. Oh, not that high. Let's move it up. No. Oh, sorry, I've clicked the wrong thing. A little bit low. There we go. So, it did trade below its inception, but it only went 50%. So keep 50% in your head, just over 50. It went above it, came back under it again for a little bit before it literally just found that as its support and then went up. Pay attention because we're going to go into the XPR afterwards. So it traded underneath, like between 50%, well, up to 50% underneath for how many days? Where did it stop to? How many months? Sorry. So, how is that 3, almost 4 months? Is that the months? I don't know. But 214 days averagely. XRP traded 214 days. And then it hit it again here. For, oh, the writing gets in the way. Move to this side. Okay, this candle. For 61 days. So ultimately, it spent 300 days collectively trading underneath its inception before it just found it as support and then just bounced off like a tiger that XRP is. So, going back to XPR, and then we will look into what it's doing now, but just looking at the long term of it, its inception was up here. And this was its inception where it opened up, and it's now trading since its inception. Bear in mind, XRP is 50%, just over. This is trading at 98%, almost 100% lower than its inception. So this is why in my head it's just like, is this a shitcoin? So just looking at the W time frame anyway, what it could potentially be doing on the RSI. So we've got like this, we went below this moving average, and I'm seeing price could potentially retest this 50 zone. So it depends what it's gonna do. We aren't like heavily overbought or anything, so could we be creating a higher high? That would be something to look out for when it comes to XpR Proton. Would we be creating that higher high, or would we get rejected off this level to come and make a lower low within the RSI? So that's going to be interesting to pay attention to how price responds to at this zone. But I want to bring your awareness to this red line that I put in. Come on, computer, you can move, you can do it. So this red line, I drew it and I extended it because I wanted to just pay attention mainly to this. We had on its journey a massive wick up to this zone, and then it done it again. We also had one here before getting rejected, and it went a little bit higher. So ultimately this zone is telling me something, and right now we are underneath that zone. So not looking the best straight away, because as you can see, price, it touched it, got rejected off it before it broke through, and then it became its resistance, and it's been its resistance, and it's attempted it. Even these wicks here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's kind of wicked into it 4 times, but these were like positive candles, but it was rejected so heavy. It's a bit small. It was rejected so heavy that look, like quite a strong rejection, and then back down into its trading zone. So I find that interesting, and I feel ultimately is paying attention to this zone. If it can get past this zone, this highest wick, ultimately tackling this area and this area, that would give us more of a sign of strength, personally, when it comes to this coin. So I don't know, I feel like the coding of it's interesting, and even just the technology itself. But in terms of the actual price action, again, so on the daily, it will be interesting to see. When we check the DXY, we will, what's it called? My mind's gone blank. See if it goes low and stuff, because it correlates basically. So whatever the dollar's doing, crypto most likely is going to be doing the opposite. Not every single time, but that's the gist of it. So I kind of want to see how price responds to this level, and it's like, well, where is that? It's like it's created another resistance level, like it's at resistance right now. So just there, it's stuck under resistance. So again, it needs to even break above that. Like looking at it at small little points and at small little times, that's all we can really do when it comes to this coin, to see if it's worth it from the technical point of view, because it's looking a little shitty, to be quite honest. And then we do have it's underneath the moving averages. They haven't even crossed over yet, whereas with like Bitcoin XRP it has. So I feel, if anything, pay more attention to how Bitcoin moves the other coins. I feel this may be a slower one, because it's just not done what it needs to do. It just really hasn't. But looking on the smaller time frame for this coin, we are right underneath. Just on the 4 hour, we won't go any lower than this. Where are you? So again, more clear rejection, and we're literally at that level. If it fails to get past this, but then it could, to be honest, because we could potentially be seeing more lows, we could get that last rejection off here to bring us back down to here before breaking through, or it could push us lower. But if it does, price really needs to try find itself. It's like, has it really found its bottom? Does it need to retest its lowest point, which I believe is probably about here? Is it? Let's just look on the higher time frame. Then we're moving to XRP. One more line. So I'm not doing it on the wick. I'm going to do it on the body of the candle. You know what? That's looking even better. Because even if we get rejected off here, it's not the end of the world. I feel price potentially, it would create a solid structure. As I says, we're in this Capricorn energy, so things are ready to go low. We could create a double bottom. If we get lower than that point, then it's just like, that will be the biggest sign. It's probably just going to go to zero and do nothing with itself. It's not got long to get to zero. It really hasn't. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Well, in the minuses, seeing how it responds to whatever this price is, 0.005. Is that 4? Yeah, 0.005, seeing how price responds to that ultimately. Yeah, and I feel that would be good because we'll be creating that double bottom, creating a W. So it would be something like this. Yes, darling. Oh, okay. So just from this point, we're getting potentially this double bottom and a W. We could retest it, come down, and then go through. Or we could break straight through and retest it on the outside and then go up. So two possibilities, but it could be creating a W. I feel because price has just wicked here, it really would want to retest that, but the low Bitcoin maybe dip into, bringing the other coins down, could bring it to make its double bottom. And I feel passing its double, creating a double bottom and retesting this zone, or at least this zone, will be showing like a sign of strength. And of course we do have another line here, don't we? As price tested it here, came below it, and then it tested it here again. So I feel like this zone would be the first sign of strength, really, and then the next one would be here. Yes. My son just signed into me. Yeah, this will be our next zone. So I feel, of course, I'm not a financial advisor, I'm not giving financial advice, but once we see price hitting here, then it's still super cheap, good time to probably get in, and then definitely here, because that would show a more sign of strength, especially retesting this zone. So even better time to probably get in, knowing its direction. Under here we could still get rejected off that and go lower. So of course everything is a risk. Let's get into Bitcoin. Sure. Let's just get rid of that, go on the line chart, see what it's doing. So we created like a crown top here. With Bitcoin we are on the W time frame. It's at quite a crucial zone because look at this trading point. We tapped it, we broke through it, retested it. So it is trading at a crucial zone right now. On the RSI, on the W, we could be getting rejected off of this area. So even if it has a little bit of room to go up, we may get rejected again. So it may create 3 crowns, or this is some long ass head and shoulder, but no, 3 tops basically, triple top to possibly come down. So we'll see, because the RSI, it is overbought, and as we probably even tip a bit above 70, we could get rejected off this moving averages just to create that lower low, lower high, lower low. So the candles, yeah, so this was our bottom, our full moon energy that came in. So price is pushing up, it's getting ready to find its resistance. So I don't know, we could get this cycle, we could get like an indecision candle, which may be that signal to be like, okay, price is getting ready to reverse. So interesting. Let's take a look just on the smaller time frame. So just on the smaller time frame alone, we're clearly at this new little resistance level. When I put on the drawings, it most likely will come back. But we're clearly on this new resistance level. And we're trading just below it. We're getting hit. So could this be our resistance, or will it pass slightly above it? Let's just see the drawings. Looks more messy. Now this could go 2 ways. We could get that next retest to this zone. this could be where our resistance comes in before it then makes its way down, or we get caught here, but we still need that indecision candle on the W time frame. So like, though throughout daily we could potentially see price get into this point because price is ready to retest its resistance, and I feel because it's at this resistance, its next game is here, or it could trade up until here because here's possibly the next mini resistance. So we either may just get a trading cluster, or we even go up for a bit and come down. But on the W time frame, it could show like an indecision candle, so potential market reversal. Again, what I'm liking with the moving averages now is that they have all crossed, but I feel it's more all things are go when Uranus is at the bottom. So because Uranus isn't at the bottom yet, this is like a signal to me of, oh, there could be still some downward momentum until that happens. So yeah, not out the woodworks just yet. What else did I want to see? Okay, so at RSI on the 4 hour, we are kind of at a potential rejection. I also want to bring your awareness to this being a slope. Like, price is sloping down, getting lower and lower, so a bit of sign of weakness there. However, just like here, you see how Uranus is at the bottom. This could be the thing to temporarily bring us up, even if we're seeing weakness. So we may see like a few days or a few hours of price like, oh, it's gone up a bit before coming back down. But on a larger time frame, it will just look like an indecision candle. Like, price is opened and pretty much closed in a similar place. So yeah, but we're being supported off these moving averages though, but kind of rejected on the RSI. So slow movement, Capricorn energy. We just have to see how it goes, I feel. Just going back to XRP, and then we're going to DXY and then do the moons. We'll add the moons on. I did want to kind of bring some awareness though to this part of XRP. So we are jumping back just a little, even though this we were kind of comparing from the inception with this and XpR, but what I paid attention to was this pattern. Even if you're kind of starting it from here, like with XpR, it started here and then it came down and it was trading quite low before it just went up. We did have this mad wick down, but before it went up, it was trading quite low beyond its last point. And when I kind of zoomed in, or it was smaller. It was smaller. It pretty much looks similar to XpR. So this is where I'm like, could we be in that energy of doing that? Though XpR only moved up 50%. So these are the differences. XpR moved up 50% from where it was, whereas XRP moved up about, what's that, 64,266%. It closed at from its inception. And it only traded 50% below, whereas XpR Proton only went up 50% and it's trading 98% below. So another variable there. But we all know crypto makes this little curve and then goes up. So yeah, we'll see. But let's get into XRP for today and for this cycle. For this here cycle, so we don't need to look on the monthly. You know what? Yeah, we do, because we were looking. No, we were looking on the other end of it. So yeah, we're just getting another long candle, and it seems as if price is hovering to this zone, 48 cents. been testing out this zone. So I feel on this full moon we could potentially be seeing these 48 zones. Why is that interesting? 48. Because XpR Proton equals 48 in Chaldean. So I find that interesting. Are they connected? You know what? If price goes to 48 and it like stays there, I don't know if we will go lower. I don't know. But we'll see. We'll look into it. We'll take a look. Let me just see the candle, the line. Fascinating. So back to the daily. The daily. Oh, we hit quite nicely off this. Oh, parcel. Hit quite nicely off this. Could price retest this zone and break below it? Or could we create that tiny double bottom? Go on then. Oh. Or we could create that lower double bottom. But I don't know, it's just weak. Like, we haven't even retested this zone, so it's kind of telling me we could go lower because it's semi-weak. But let's get back onto the candles. Careful of your back. So, Mom, okay. Yeah, I feel as price is getting ready to find its resistance, I feel this could be the resistance, 53. Because ultimately, if price can't get higher than 53, closing at, I'll say 54 with a close, not just a wick. If price can't do that, we could get rejected off this level. So it will depend on what the DXY is doing as well, to see if there's even much momentum for a higher resistance. Because as with Bitcoin, we could literally be trading on the resistance line right now. Okay. We Yeah, you need to put it back on charge though, you know. But we could potentially be what was I saying? Bitcoin is trading on its resistance level. So if that can't get up to just pull the market up a little bit, will we even retest here? There you go, Bubs. Put it back on charge. There we go. Put it back on charge, okay? It needs to go on charge. So, I'm watching my niece drive the car. This is her second lesson. Anyway, yeah, that's what I'm seeing there. This is just long-winded, and I feel it's just more downward momentum, personally. So on the 4 hour, we could be getting rejected at the level it's at right now, similar to Bitcoin. So could we just go back down to this 40, or could price just range to get that clear resistance when the full new moon energy comes in? Because remember, we're in it now, so price could potentially be, this is the resistance it's at before getting ready to drop lower. So keep that in mind. It's starting from now. This is why this is probably why the market's just showing potential not much time or capacity to go up much anyway. So do keep that in mind. Where are we? 51. That we're in it now, and it could last up until Wednesday, the following Wednesday, if price hasn't clearly found its resistance level. So that's what I'm seeing for XRP anyway. And again, it's like we've got this wick, but it's like price, I'll just close that. It's like price wants to go lower than this wick. This again is why I'm seeing another low to create probably, I don't know if it will go to 40, but I'm going to keep my eyes open. 40 to 43 cents is where I'm keeping my eyes fully open when it comes to XRP as like a next yeah, below 47 my eyes are open for XRP basically. So that's what I'm seeing. Let's get onto the DXY and let's close. I feel like I've been going super slow, but this is me in my mind when I'm like fully researching it there and then. Not researching, what's it called? Looking at it. How do I just close? 100. The DXY. Interesting. So I think I did say this, didn't I? Because I was expecting crypto to be hitting its lows. I was like, the DXY could be getting support off of this zone to then come up here. Now it's looking like it needs to experience a little bit of rejection. Naturally. But it's not even finished because this is its zone, look. I drew that line a little bit low, clearly. But it wants to break past this. So price, it's clearly got rejected off this level as we do have some touch points. But we could potentially be getting just like a, on the daily, the RSI could come down and gain support off of the yellow moving average, which could bring it back up. So we could just see a little rejection off it while the RSI catches up and does what it needs to do. So this could be that slightly up movement that crypto may finish off doing, just that little movement, not a lot, maybe 5% or something, not a lot at all. But once it retests this little zone, there's like a retest of it, it could get ready to fully get to this 104, where that's the proper resistance really. It's like we've hit a zone, but it's here as price was there before. And of course we do have this slightly higher point. So I'm just going to say to there. Price could try and test out this area. So when price is testing out this area, and I feel this could be so, because we may just want to get rejected off of this zone before coming back down. We may come back down to here or retest there before going up again. And then going back down. I don't know. I don't know. We're seeing how price responds here, basically. And I feel it may only get like that leg up. Where's that? February. I feel so. During February, we may even get highs of the 105 again for it to get rejected. And when crypto is at its lows in February with the February full moon, yes, I'm seeing it now. So we may have a trading cluster around here. Price may break through, retest this zone, and then extend on here when we're entering closer to this full moon. Because crypto will be close to its lows. And if price can retest this zone, this 105, ultimately will be creating a lower high, which means downward trend. So when crypto is ready to recover before this Bitcoin halving, this is going down as crypto is recovering, meaning there may be some noise on the world stage March into April to draw your attention away from it, as this is coming down, the dollar. So whatever happens may impact people's choice and security to be like, do I want to be in the dollar or do I not? Yeah, but that's what I'm seeing. That's kind of what I'm seeing. Take note of that last part what I said, because I feel it's probably, ow, my toes getting numb. I feel it's probably the case. We see highs of the dollar up into the end of February, beginning of March, for it to get rejected again. And as it's coming down, we begin to see a recovery in the crypto market. Before a bit more silence. But I've spoke for too long. My intention is that this brought some awareness to any area. If you've got to the end of the video, thank you. Thank you, because I can be a little bit slow at times. I am going to be doing the birth chart reading for XpR Proton as well as Ethereum, but other birth chart readings for other coins will be only available on my Patreon. But do stick around for Ethereum's and XpR. I've already done XRP and Bitcoin, but I'm going to include their extended readings, so they will probably come out before Ethereum and XpR. But yeah, if you did like the video, any part of the video, do give me a thumbs up, let me know, comment, grab this calendar. Of course, I do also offer birth chart readings in alignment with the sky, so yeah, do get it. Some etheric wisdom in this Crypto Angles podcast number 45. So the next one's number 46, 10. New binary code, newness. But anyway, with that being said, Angel out. Bye.